sir. Welcome to Studio Meditation Studio. We are glad to have you here. And now we get to ask you a question that you are obviously in the reverse order. So you are like the Shahenshah of this place where we ask you the questions. Now the question here is like when many a times you tell us not to plan things and to plan things but not to fix. And how do we do that?
So, whenever you're doing a new thing, first thing you should know what you're doing, how you're doing, why you're doing it. And when you are very clear about this, then you should go into the mode of action. Because when you are in the mode of action, you should not go and sit again thinking. So, first is once you have set up yourself on a particular journey, a plan, or an idea or a concept, and you want to do that, then do it. What is going to happen is you're going to face a lot of challenges in the process. These challenges are unseen, unheard of, right? That is why you're doing it. But when you do something new, the challenges are also going to be new. How can you plan about the challenges beforehand? Unless you are repeating the same thing. And if you're repeating the same thing, you don't need to plan because it's a process. It's already planned. You just need to execute. So on both sides, one side, if it's the old repetitive process, there's nothing to plan but to just continue as per the processes. On the other side, when you're doing something new, there's nothing to actually plan because everything is going to be new. What can you plan about something that is uncertain or new? The only thing you can do is act. With every action there would be a challenge, a new challenge that will come. This new challenge will train you, will help you to achieve different ways in which you can solve that. This is the experience that will help you to become that better person who can face new challenges again. So that's why I keep on telling that when in the mode of action, do not think, and when you're thinking, make sure that you think of all possibilities, right? And so I always say flow, like the raindrop. It just flows. It gathers, it again flows. It again gathers, it again flows. It flows, flows, flows until it meets the sea again from where it came. Similarly, your idea, which is in your mind, needs to flow out in terms of action, meet the challenges, whatever it is. Go through all those things till the action has led you to the manifestation of the idea in reality. And then is the time where you look into your mind, this was the idea and this is what it has turned out to be, and you'll feel that joy that what you started in the mind has actually happened in reality outside. If you get fixed, no, if you fix yourself, you're not flowing because you think that this is the only way, but that cannot be the way, right? The ways change according to situation, circumstances, because conditions are conditions. They keep on varying. You say that no, I will only go fixed. Like I want to go from this place to this place in a straight line. Not possible. The terrain is not going to help you. You will have to go across the mountains, rivers, so many different things. And then no road is a straight road, right? You travel straight on that road, but no road is a straight road. So at the end, your destination will always be curvy. It will always be through a lot of turns, ups and low, highs and lows, and you have to keep on continuously traveling. Yeah. So through the practice of sunya, you realize that this thing that we thought was fixed, like breathing, what we thought was something that happens every now and then, had nothing to do with the mind. But when you realize it was just a state of the mind, which itself was never fixed. We used to think we have a fixed mind, we can fix our mind. But when you look at the breath and the breath keeps on varying and changing, you realize by observing the breath that technically the breath that was going in and out had its own rhythm. Sometimes it was fast, sometimes it was slow. As the mind relaxed, it also relaxed itself. The flow became more smoother. So much subtle that when the mind became really, really peaceful and calm, the breath also absolutely disappeared. So when you look at this dynamic nature of the breath itself, which represents the dynamic nature of the mind, everything in the mind is dynamic, from the mind is dynamic, hence Every creation is dynamic, and once you agree to it, when you understand it, then you'll never be fixed in your way in looking at things and doing things. That is how the practice helps you. So you see, I told you always, a mind has this habit of using pre-references, right? So when this becomes, the practice becomes itself the reference, that it is dynamic, everything is dynamic, then that becomes the preference every time you do anything. So you will always try to match it with this experience in everything you do, and hence you'll be focused, you'll be consistent, you'll be, ready to change every now and then, because you're not the one changing. It's the mind changing because the conditions are changing. And when the conditions change, it's nothing for you to blame. For example, where you're meditating, if the oxygen level drops, you'll breathe more deeper, right? Because you did not do it. The air was such that you had to breathe deep. You understand? So you will know that it is not you who is responsible for all this. You are changing because the conditions keep on changing. You, yeah, yeah. So you can ask.
Beautiful to know that preferences actually means the pre-references which we
Yes,
carry. That's
yes.
something amazing. And can you just go ahead with what you were saying right now?
Yes, so basically, you should understand your nature, your talk, your thinking, your action. Everything should be a flow. And Buddha very nicely talks us through, saying that this flow is nothing but like a wheel. Okay, it needs to keep on rotating, it needs to keep on moving. Once the wheel stops, the cart stops, everything stops. So do not stop, flow, keep on rolling. And that's how you should be doing your duty. And if you keep on doing your duty, you will realize that every act of yours was basically meant to be so. And whatever you contributed, it was not on purpose that you changed it at a certain level. You had to change it because conditions made you change. Otherwise you were absolutely very straight in doing some things, but things don't work like that. So never get afraid of change, never get worried that my approach towards that is going to be changed. Everything is okay unless and until you don't lose the focus. Do not lose the target. The process and the way to the target is can be totally different. Like for example, I target something in front of me, okay, and I have a arrow that I'm going to shoot. Now when I realize and sense that there is no air moving, everything is still, everything is nice, if I shoot straight, it is going to hit. But if I know the air is blowing very strong from my left to the right, now if I'm going to hit the arrow, even though if I want to hit it straight, because the wind is blowing from left to right, my arrow is going to change its course, it's going to go towards the right. I'm going to miss the target in a much bigger way, because it depends on how strong is the velocity of the wind. So what, as a great archer, I will do, I will sense that the wind is moving so fast with my, the wind rubbing on my skin, I can sense it, I can have that view of everything that is going to contribute into this arrow hitting the target. And even if the target is here, I'm going to shoot this side. I'm shooting this side. Somebody who's going to watch, you say, what is he doing? I'm going to shoot this side, but the wind is going to carry it along and going to hit there. You understand?
Yeah.
So why? Because I know that the conditions do matter. My conditions can change the way I look at things, but it doesn't change the target that I'm going to hit.
Yeah.
And if you can remain focused in that way in your practice, that's why whatever happens, we say, do your 9 to 0, do your 29 to 0, 99 to 0, keep on doing your practice. Things will change. Every day will never be the same. Hence, no two practices have ever been the same. You cannot repeat the same experience of a practice ever in your life, because nor two situations, circumstances, experiences have ever been the same. That means every practice has been unique. Then if it has been unique, how can you get bored? How can you even think of not doing something which you already have done? So the only idea is that newness, that feeling of that being there and enjoying the newness of every practice is going to keep you in that mode of joy.
Thank you. I was just focusing on that image.
Oh, that is a beautiful image, huh?
Yeah. So it's like how you're saying to, because you talk about this image. Maybe this is an image we take in another session. We leave it at a very suspenseful part. But what you shared today was amazing. Thank you so much. That was very beautiful. We get to know how practice is going to help us. So you're saying for us to keep on rolling. That's more like, rather than rock and roll, flow and roll.
Yes.
So that was it. A great session again by you. Thank you so much. We meet
Thank,
again for the next session next time. Bye
thank
bye.
you.